The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. This is taken at the 3. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Here's Winston. He finds Robinson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Trey Burton, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive.
It used to be that if you were a big wide receiver and the coaches wanted to make you a tight end, you resisted the move. Now it's almost a glamour position because they have the mismatch advantage. Are you going to cover them with a linebacker? They're probably faster. A defensive back? They're going to be bigger. Tight end is the new big-time position.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a 4th-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3, usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
They go play action here on first down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Working out of the gun, Cousins. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook, and he stopped immediately there. Trey Hendrickson, the one who gets him on the ground. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
Kyle Rudolph had his second Pro Bowl appearance last year when he had 8 touchdowns, just one off of his career high. One of the most likable, upbeat players in the league, continues to improve as a blocker, is one of the best pass-catching tight ends in the league. One of the guys that the Vikings like to build around for the future.
On second down, Cook. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. That second down run, a big help as 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on first down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here. In this situation, they stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. Now this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. You know, they were able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
2nd down, Winston. Dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Going to throw right side here, complete. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice I saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
10 more there and another 1st down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Emerson Griffin in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. On play action, Winston. And he's going to go down again. Daniil Hunter in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Third and long for Winston. Looking deep for Gabriel. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? It's certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and pressure advantage.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires. On the first quarter of action. 7-0 is our score. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's got room. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. After the play, not a good sign. Dalvin Cook staying on the ground. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. They'll run here. It's Murray. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bears take over. Now this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Now a second down throw for Winston. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Jameis to throw it. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Throwing the interception. Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. A handoff. It's Murray. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On 3rd down, Murray. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. That's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the...
It's a foot race. The 30, 10, touchdown, Chicago. In for the score, and the Bears will extend their lead.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Cousins now on 2nd down. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And in this one, this crew is thankful for special teams because the kick return game, as we see here, has been strong.
That it has, and think about the discipline it takes to do it right, because so many things can go wrong because they're moving at full speed and you're trying to hit targets while running at full speed without clipping, right, without falling down and blocking in the back, doing all sorts of things that happen all the time. Not so far in this game. They're making great plays and creating great space for their runners.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And Winston lost the football. But the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Winston. And incomplete on the deep ball.
There's no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow.
And he's not going to get out of the end zone. Murray is safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Two minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now Jameis on 2nd down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
The speed, I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Winston now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. On the handoff, this is Howard. Room here to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Howard with his sights on a 3rd straight 1,000-yard season to begin his career. Here's 1st and 10. Winston now. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And a very good return as he takes us all the way up to the 35-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
First down, here's Cousins. And it's brought in by Eric Decker. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 1st and 10. Cousins. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. From the gun, here's Cousins. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. All right, so the timeout over, and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Now a give. This is Murray. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is taken at the 18. 39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air. That's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter. And a nice gain of 21 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Winston now to throw on 1st down. Flushed it, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Stephen Weatherly in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game, as we'll send you down to Orlando. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He may need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Cousins to his tight end, Rudolph, for a Viking first down.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. They run the counter with Cook, and that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
To throw, Cousins. And incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Cousins to Decker over the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? That's a football play right there. That takes me back a little bit. Toss sweep to the right. Get it to your back. Get a lot of people out in front. Control the line of scrimmage. Wide receivers blocking downfield. It almost feels like half the crowd is in front of him, getting it down to the secondary. They have a tough time getting him down. 3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Let's go, let's convert, let's convert, let's convert.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
As I watch that play unfold, stereotypes are being broken left and right. As a corner, you're often back there guarding against the pass. But how about that diagnosis and read and getting into the backfield and making a nice play and a tackle?
Here's Winston being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side.
We always hear about guys wanting to make plays that quiet a crowd. Yeah, after that one.
Here in the 3rd quarter, they were hoping to get the stop, get the football back. Not the case.
What a completion on a 4th down play.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Play fake. Winston. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Over the middle, complete. It's Burton. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A good pickup there, a 22.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. They'll throw again. Winston got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Anthony Miller, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
This will be fielded at the 6. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Second down, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Taking it about the 16. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They built up that lead at intermission, and they're just continuing to pour it on right now, aren't they?
Locked into a really good groove right now. I don't know if it's just the play calling. I know the execution is really, really sharp right now, and all the playmakers are doing exactly what you expect. They're making plays, and right now, defense has no answer and no chance of catching up.
Yeah, they're just looking to turn anywhere for a stop defensively. Off the play fake, Winston. And he slings one that's incomplete.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
The Bears on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. To throw is Winston. The catch made by Miller. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 3 quarters in the books. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Second down, Winston. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. And that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the people.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Linval Joseph with a big-time sack on third down, and it'll be a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Ready. Slack 22. Let's go.
Fourth down, Winston. Gonna wet one flat for Robinson. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Bears tried it on fourth down, unable to convert. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be third and about the length of the football. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Desperation time. Cousins on fourth down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And that will force a turnover on downs. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10.
Ready.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Now the ball comes loose, and this belongs to the Vikings.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Throwing his Cousins. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief that you still have the lead, but coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
On 2nd down, Winston again. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Burton. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And the quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a 1st down. Here's Jones. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll go again to Jones. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got him now.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They'll come out in the pistol. On 1st and goal, Howard. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 2nd and goal. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. And this one's incomplete.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
The Bears on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and goal. Winston. The quick slant caught. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. They'll run it with Jones. He's fighting, but they're not going to let him in. Stopped at the 2-yard line. The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. And this defense continues to dominate. How about 2 safeties in one game here?
You don't even put that on your goal sheet. This is something that results when you're playing really well on defense and the offense has nowhere to go with the football. Dominating performance.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
Ready. Blue ready. Green, triple C.
They're looking to throw this. Winston. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Green, triple C.
Throwing again. Winston on 2nd and 10. He's going to air one out. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Jameis to throw it. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Nowhere to go that time. It's a 46-yard punt with a loss on the return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. And out now come the Vikings. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Play fake. Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Eric Decker was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Looking for Decker, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Let's go now. Hey, sub. Green, triple C. Green, triple C.
Winston here to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Trey Burton with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Bears turn that interception into a touchdown. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. Yeah, I can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
This is taken at the 3. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. The Vikings on 3rd down, an almost unimaginable 0 for 10 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. From the gun, here's Cousins. And complete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Chicago. This is taken at about the 14. Ooh, with a juke. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Bears, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll be back home next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll sink now to 0-4. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to act